We want to look at the list command in Stata. It allows us to see the entire data set in our results window rather than in the data browser window. We know through the browse command, we can't see our data set in the data browser window. But the list command allows us to see it in the results window as well. So if you look at this example, where let's use the auto data set. So now if I do list over here, it will display the entire data set in the results window, right? We could have also seen this data set using browse in the data browser window. An alternative is that we can see it in the results window using the list command. Now, what if we don't want to see the entire data set and we only want to see a subset of it? We can also do that by specifying which variables we're interested in seeing, by supplying their names, and we can also specify which observations we're interested in using the if and in qualifier, because we know if and in select observations. We've already looked at this. In selects by observation number and if selects by condition. So you can use this command to look at the entire data set or subset of the data set by specifying which variables you're interested in, by supplying their names, and by specifying which observations you're interested in using the if and in qualifier. For example, what if I only wanted to display observations of make, price, and MPG instead of all the variables in the data set? So if I'm interested in some specific variables, like I'm only interested in make, price, and MPG, so I'll supply the variable name. So it will be list make, price, MPG. So now instead of displaying all the variables in the data set, this will only display observations of make, price, and MPG. So we only wanted to display all observations of make, price, and MPG instead of the whole data set. So you just supply the variable names. What if we wanted to only display make and price of foreign cars? So we wanted to, so ek to we are only interested in some specific variables, which is make and price. And that too only of specific observations of foreign cars. So we could do that by specifying list make price. So specifying the variables which you're interested in, which is make and price. And since we're only interested in foreign cars, so we will specify those observations in this case using an if qualifier. That if foreign is double equal to 1, right? So we've already discussed if in detail. So now this is only showing me make and price of foreign cars. We can, if what if we only wanted to display make, price, and MPG of observations 10 to 15. So here we are only interested in three variables. We'll supply the names make, price, MPG, and we're also only interested in the observations from 10 to 15. And we know we can use the in qualifier in order to select observations by number. So here we'll just specify in, and then we are interested in 10 to 15 observations. Again, this has been looked in detail related to in. So now this is only giving us make, price, MPG of observations from 10 to 15. So we also have the no label option with list. Now for categorical variables, the no label option, instead of displaying the value labels that we assign to the categorical variable, will display the underlying numerical values of the categorical variable. For example, we want to display values of make and foreign for the first 5 observations. If I don't use no label, and I will just do list make foreign because we're interested in the variables make and foreign, and in 1/5 is specifying that we want to look at the first 5 observations of these variables only. Right, so if I now do this, so now Stata will show the value labels for the categorical variable foreign by default. We can see over here, since I've not used the no label option, so for any categorical variable, what Stata will display is, it will display the value labels by default. Foreign is a categorical variable, where domestic is the value label assigned to the value 0, and foreign is the value label assigned to the value 1. Now, if I use no label option, now instead of displaying the value labels that are assigned to foreign, Stata will display the underlying numerical code. We can also use the option clean to omit the borders on the listing. Right? If I do list in without the option clean, it displays like this. But if you use option clean, then Stata will remove the borders.